Okay, it's time for the final step in the sales velocity boost. Step 7, re-optimizing your product listing. In this lesson, we're going to go through the training that you've done since the beginning and re-optimize the listing from what you had done prior. Let's go ahead and get started. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to re-optimize your product listing after you've already gone through and set everything up. There's things that we always want to be looking at, how we can improve our listing, and I just want to go over a few different areas that you can continually be working on to re-optimizing your product listing. First of all, it's always important to be in the process of testing. And by that I mean you always want to make sure that you're testing out different things in your listing. So whether it be, testing out your main image or testing out different things in your title, maybe your main keyword that you're using in your title, testing out different bullet points, different things that you're listing as your benefits and then some of your features, and even adjusting some things in your sales copy, in your description. Maybe you can test different things with your guarantee and whatnot. And that you're testing things always compared to what they were before and trying to ever improving your listing. It is important to make changes to your product listing one at a time to determine the best performing options. So you can only make one change before you can see what that change is doing. If you make multiple changes, you're not going to know which change actually that made the most change. In order to know which change caused the effect, you can only have one change. So make sure you're doing one change at a time, and then you see what the effects are of that change before you make another change to your product listing. And then you want to make sure that you're documenting all your changes and then the results from those changes for each of the factors. So, for example, if you want to document the sales that is happening from the changes, the conversions, maybe your keyword rankings if you're adjusting some of the keywords, and so on. So, just want to make sure that you document these things. You can do them in a spreadsheet and just go ahead and list them out. I like to put the date in so I know exactly what day I did it. And then you go ahead and keep a document record of all those changes and the results that are happening from them. And like I said at the beginning here, you always want to look for ways to improve your product and listing, because as you do that, obviously it's going to result in more sales for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is upgrading your images. A site that I like to use is Fiverr.com. Of course, there's other resources you can use as well, but what you want to do is you want to use Fiverr or other resources to digitally enhance your product images. And by that, just making them more professional, make them stand out more. Maybe there's certain things you can add to them as well. You can create these images showing your product being used. This always helps, especially for someone that's buying a product that they can't see or touch or smell. Because they can't use their senses, you're actually going to display for them what it is to have your product. So if you're showing your product being used, that is very helpful in selling your product. Except for your main image, which you want on a pure white background, you could add backgrounds to your other images to help enhance them. So by that, some different things that would make your product stand out. What I like to do is I like to go and look at other products on Amazon and see people that are doing really well with their pictures and get some ideas of what could work for your product, and then go ahead and have your images digitally enhanced with those backgrounds. Next, I'm always looking to make my images look sexy, and by that, more appealing. You'll see different examples again when you're looking at other examples in Amazon, and any way that you can make it look sexy, your product looks sexy, it will help sell the product. And like I said before, you want to make sure you're always testing. So test using different images for the optimal conversion. And you can do this by switching out the main image. Like I said, always make sure that whatever that main image that you're using, make sure it's on a pure white background. And you can't be adding any text or anything, or sometimes people put certification labels. You can't have that on a main image. But go ahead and test the different ones out and see how it affects your conversion rate, and then find the one that works for your optimal conversion and then stick with that one. Next, we're going to talk about finding your best keywords. So what I always teach is you want to be able to test different keywords by rotating new keywords into your title, especially in the beginning. This will help you to find out which keywords are working out best for you. So a lot of times when I'm saying, test it out, you might want to test it out for a week with a new keyword and then compare it to what it was prior, and then you can actually test it back to what it was before, and you'll compare the different things, the different aspects that you're looking for, your conversions, your sales and whatnot, with your rankings, and then see how they do with each other. And then take that winning keyword and then compete it against other keywords to go ahead and see if another one would do better. But you keep on constantly doing this until you find your best keywords for your product listing. Also, you want to continually test newly found keywords, especially from your auto-targeted advertising campaign. So in a prior lesson, I showed you how to go and extract those auto-targeted keywords from your advertising campaign. Just make sure you're ever looking for new keywords that are converting for you, and then test them out the same way you would do against the one that is working out best for you in your title. And of course, any newly found researched keywords from other tools, competitor listings, websites, etc. Go through and have an ever growing spreadsheet list of keywords and the new ones that you're finding. And then you can do some more research, and the ones that look like that they can work, that they might be highly trafficked and some really good keywords that maybe can convert well for you, then start testing those keywords as well. And lastly, for this lesson, I want to talk about the customer feedback and reviews and how you could use those to better enhance your product listing. So what you want to do is you want to go through your product feedback and your reviews to improve your listing, improve the benefits and the focus of who you're actually targeting with your product. So what I'm going to suggest is that every few weeks or so, either yourself or you have somebody go through the product feedback, go through the reviews, and look at what your customers are actually saying about your product, and then see how you can improve not only your listing and the benefits, but also who your actually targeting message is going to. So you might see that you might have a target base of women that are between certain ages. You can adjust your sales copy then to meet that demographic of people that are actually looking at your product. Plus, you can use this information to actually improve your product itself and make it the best product to meet what your customers' needs are. And like I just said there, make sure you're learning more about your customer demographics for your product to better speak to your market. So you're actually speaking better to what your people are looking for, and then you can better make it more personal to them. And lastly, you want to improve your product based on customer feedback. So like I said there before, your customers might say they're looking for a certain thing, or maybe there's something about your product that is not working, or they would like to see something enhanced with it. You can use this feedback to actually get a hold of your supplier and have your supplier make a product that is going to be more focused and maybe work on some enhancements that your customers are looking for. And then you can go, and once you do this, then you can address those. You actually put it into your sales copy, and you can focus on let people know that you've made this change or you've added this certain piece to your product that they have particularly been looking for. And it's a great way too to actually stand out amongst your competition, because most of your competition is not going to be doing this. You always want to be able to address the needs of your customers, and that will help you have a better relation with your customers, and of course have better sales, because you're going to have your product more targeted to what your customers' needs are. So that's it for this lesson on re-optimizing your product listing. I hope that helps you to better improve your listing over time and have the best possible product listing and the best sales that you could possibly have. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the next lesson.